Today I want to talk to you about the flipped classroom model. The reason I'd like to talk to you about the flipped classroom is because this year you're going to be part of a flipped classroom. So what is a flipped classroom? To explain a flipped classroom, we really need to begin by examining a traditional classroom. Now I know when you hear the word classroom, you usually think of what takes place at school. However, I would suggest that you should also consider what takes place at home. You see, what you do and learn in the classroom at school has an impact on what you will have to do and learn at home. Let me explain what I mean. In a traditional classroom, a student would take notes as the teacher lectures and maybe copies down some sample problems. This means that at home, that student would then work on practice problems that are hopefully similar to the same problems that the teacher showed during class and would ideally review their notes in order to gain a deeper understanding of the material. So if you think about it, in a traditional classroom, you spend most of your time copying down the information that your teacher is presenting, with some discussions and activities scattered throughout. While at home, you spend most of your time trying to apply a concept that you just started learning earlier that day. I would say that for most, copying down material is easier to do than trying to apply new knowledge. And for the most part, it doesn't require the help of a teacher. On the other hand, solving homework problems is more difficult. And many times, students find that it would be helpful if the teacher were around to give them guidance. So how is a flipped classroom different? Well, in a flipped classroom, we flip where the student does these tasks. The note-taking is done at home, which allows the student to work on the practice problems in the classroom, where the student is able to ask questions and get help from the teacher. But how is it that you are going to copy these notes? How will you learn the material? The answer is the same way that you're learning about the flipped classroom model right now, by watching a video at home. You see, in a flipped classroom, the teacher posts a video on the class website. That video, which covers the lesson for the following day, is your homework. Your responsibility is to watch it and take notes from it. The video will be about 10 to 15 minutes in length. At the beginning of the next class, your teacher will check to make sure that you took notes from the video and will give you a short formative assessment of the material. It should take no more than 10 minutes. The majority of the class time will be spent maybe doing hands-on activities that will help you master the concept, or working on practice problems, or maybe having a discussion where you will be able to ask questions about the material. Let's consider an example. We're going to look at what a week in chemistry class may look like. Now, this is not an actual calendar. I'm simply using this as an example. On Sunday night, you sit down, you watch a video over the first two types of chemical reactions. On Monday, when you get to class, you show your notes to your teacher and you take a short formative assessment over the material, and then you spend the rest of the class practicing how to predict the products of the chemical reactions. This same pattern repeats on Monday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning. On Wednesday night, you watch a video that prepares you for the lab that you're going to complete on Thursday. You also write the pre-lab section for your lab report. Then on Thursday, during class, you actually perform the lab. And then that night, you would complete the report and then study for the upcoming phase. Notice that on Thursday night, there is no video to watch because no new material is going to be covered on Friday. Friday, you're going to be taking the reactions quiz in class. It also changes what the teacher does in the classroom. Instead of lecturing or maybe finding some other activity or way to deliver the content during class, the teacher is actually able to answer questions that the students have over the material, maybe oversee activities in order to help the student master the content, and even work more on a one-on-one basis with students when they need it. Once again, I'd like to remind you that the main difference between the traditional classroom and a flipped classroom is that in a flipped classroom, you're taking notes and learning the basic content at home. And then you're applying and deepening your knowledge in the classroom. The teacher is able to provide the necessary help and support. I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and I really look forward to having a very wonderful school year.